Welcome everybody to World of Tanks subscriber replays. My name is Maxwell and today's first replay is from the user Jagdpz96. That's Jagdpz96, and he's driving the Object 432 on an encounter battle on El Haluf. Object 432 being a tier 9 medium tank for the Russians. So straight away going to be heading to the northern flank of the map, a little bit of a departure for the normal tactics employed by medium tanks on El Haluf, whether it's a standard battle or an encounter. Normally you find those medium tanks heading to the position where the Comet is currently sitting, or maybe further into the little bay there at H7 is the most common place that you will find these medium tanks. But Jagdpz going to be heading to the northern flank instead. I'm going to see if he can help out some of his more heavily armoured allies in pushing this flank. Really going to be trying to lead the charge in this battle. Going to escort everybody to the enemy and then escort them to victory is the hope. So takes to the higher ground in this location, and being a fast medium tank, you can guarantee he's going to be here first. As like I said, normally only heavy tanks and tank destroyers head to this position. Who's almost certainly going to be here first. He can take to that higher ground safely, and as you can see, he's set up in a side scraping position here, just waiting for someone to come into view. Spots out a Lurva, gets a good hit onto him, and there's also a VK just behind. Not able to get any more shots on them thanks to the shape of the terrain, but going to see if he can get shots on anybody else that makes an appearance. Looks like nobody coming around just yet. This E-75 wants to go full ham, and he takes some damage from the Lurva as punishment. But to be honest, it looks like there's only this heavy tank and this VK here really to contend with. Although they are, let's just take a quick look at that. Yeah, and they're not really pushing up. They're sort of holding the position and moving up ever so slowly. I think if they realised how many tanks the Allied team has here, they'd probably be a little less reluctant to push up as far as they are. Finds the AMX 100, gets out of his way pretty quickly, as the amount of damage he's able to unload is going to ruin anybody's day. Does take one shot from him, but then gets one in return, and luckily the E-75 gets in the way to soak up some of that punishment, and then Jagdpz able to take him out and pick up his first kill now. Got a very, very quick reload on this gun, so he's able to put down some great sustained damage onto the enemy team. You see, he gets a good hit onto the VK. Now he's going to transition even further across now. Going to spot the hill on the other side. Did take a shot there. Unfortunately, the VK 4502B did miss. I'm not really sure what position the VK 4502B is in. He's kind of sat with his rear facing completely out there. And I mean, I know because that thing's got the turret on the back that you want to kind of poke your rear out, but it's as if this guy's just heard offhand in some whispered, hushed tones about this mystical thing called side scraping, but he didn't quite get the whole story while he was trying to eavesdrop on this shrouded conversation. Didn't quite get the full gist of what side scraping was, and instead he's just poking himself out some really, really weird angle there. But anyway, the very strong trollish side armor of the VK coming into play anyway, but Jagdpz is in a great position himself. Was able to get 2 hits onto the VK and only took 1 or 2 in return. Now he's going to advance forward against this E-75. Gets a great hit through his side armor. The E-75's concentrating more on this ST-1 in front of him, which very well he should. Because if he starts turning his turret to try and get the Object 432, then Jagdpz is just going to circle all the way around him, and then the E-75 is not going to get any damage on anybody. Really caught in a difficult position there, the enemy team was, considering that the Allies pushed way more forces onto that hill than they did. And to be honest, I'm not really sure where the enemy team is at the moment, because it's not like they've heavily pushed the south or the centre. It looks like the majority of them must be camping in the base somewhere. And if there's one lesson we have learned through the years, it's that camping does not win games. More often than not, 9 times or 8 times out of 10, you will get your face well and truly stomped if you camp too hard. It's just that 1 in 10 or 2 in 10 times that it does work out that lets people think that the camping tactic really does work, and it really doesn't. Gets a nice hit onto that Indian Panzer there. And he is again caught in a bad situation. Daka just going to have a quick shot at him at the last known position, but it looks like the Indian Panzer's made tracks there and gotten behind the terrain, gotten into a safe location. Are starting a base capture here, but I don't expect this one to finish, as Jagdpz is again still leading the charge here, squaring off against the Jagdpanther and that IS there. The Jagdpanther's going to come fully over the hill and try and do something about this. Unfortunately, I don't think he realised how many tanks were behind Jagdpz here. And he just takes a quick 1, 2, 3 in the face and has to fall back. And now Daka's going to press home the advantage as well as he can. Unfortunately, doesn't quite have the gun depression, so decides to fall back here and try and use the shape of the terrain to land a shot onto somebody. Has a little bit more support here. Going to be climbing up the hill, trying to lure somebody into firing. Does manage to get a great hit onto the IS there and lured the IS-3 into having a terrible shot there, which bounced. And going to see if we can get some damage on this IS-3. Unfortunately, just rushed his shot a little bit as he's concentrating too much on not getting shot by this IS-3. Second shot for the IS-3 is not so lucky, as it does sail straight through his armor. Got to be aware of this AT-15 on the right-hand side. But it looks like he is having some trouble driving at the moment, focusing on the Indian Panzer at the moment. IS-3 says, fuck this, I've had enough and I am out of here. Jagdpz only able to get his tracks out, but it looks like the support from the rear does come in. Does take a hit from the AT-15, and the front armor of this thing is just way too strong, but the AT-15 has just not got the speed or the traverse to be able to get away, and Jagdpz takes him out, and that's kill number 5. And this has been pretty much non-stop action since they got up the hill. Now going to press home the advantage on the Tiger 1, and there's a Rheinmetall here. Rheinmetall pokes himself out, takes a big hit. Fires in return, not sure who. There we go, takes his shot there. And Jagdpz just going to continue pressing down. He's got himself 5 and a bit thousand points of damage. Would be nice if he can pick up a final kill just for the icing on the cake as that Top Gun medal. Looks like the Indian Panzer is still alive over there as well, squaring off against a Löwe at the moment. Tiger concentrating way too much on trying to shoot the people in the distance there. Managed to get an ammo rack hit onto the Object 430 there, but Jagdpz just says, nope, I'm going to use my repair kit and get that one. Takes out the Rheinmetall, and there we go. That is his well-deserved Top Gun medal. He's going to have about the same reload speed as the Tiger 1, but he's going to have a much better cannon than the Tiger 1 has. Tiger 1 thinking he can duel this one out, but unfortunately he gets no damage, and Jagdpz does. One more shot should be enough to take him out. Can he make it? Not quite. Tiger 1 just about has the reload on him, takes him out, ends his game, but he still has an absolute stormer. Only this Indian Panzer left, and it looks like the Löwe is just pressing down on him, going to try and take him out as quickly as possible. But absolutely awesome game there from Jagdpz, leading his team to victory and leading the charge at every opportunity, picking himself up over 6,000 points of damage, 6 kills, well-deserved Top Gun medal. Going to see who can finally find this Indian Panzer to take him on. I don't think he's going to be able to win this game single-handedly, and there we go. There is the Indian Panzer. This Löwe is just going to say nope, and the E-75 takes him out in the end for the victory. So absolutely awesome replay there from Jagdpz 96. Thank you very much for sending that one in. Don't forget to stick around, guys, because as always the score screens and another game are coming right up. And our second replay of the day is from the user Demiger. That is Demiger, and he's driving the Jagdpz E-100 on an encounter battle on Malinovka. Anybody who's followed me for a while knows that I don't really show tank destroyer and artillery games very often. That's just because they are usually quite camp heavy, just by the nature of tank destroyers and artillery. But you can rest assured that because this replay is getting shown, it's not just going to be a case of hide at the back and shoot all of the things. It is going to be quite an interesting replay, although it is slow to start because the Jagdpz E-100 is quite a slow beat, so we're going to speed this one up just a little bit until we get into the action. Excuse me. So, Demiga going to be taken to the hill with his allies here. This being an encounter battle, the two teams do spawn quite close to each other, just across that open field there. So quite a lot of the team from either side do tend to take to this hill. Looks at the moment like the allies have more tanks here, but I think the case is just they have more tanks on the hill than the enemy. They were quite a lot quicker than the enemy team to get here. Looking for a shot on that E-50M there, but not quite able to find one. Does spot out the T-30. And then puts 1,000 damage straight through his face. T-30 did fire in return, but didn't get any damage on Demiga. You have to excuse me, just had a tickle in the throat there. Is looking for the best shot that he can take. At the moment, with the slope of the hill, it's actually working in his advantage. He's keeping his lower plate hidden at the moment. Which is pretty lucky. Does finally get a shot on that E-50M. Unfortunately, could only see the very top of his commander's hatch there, so that one just about missed. And it's always good to see these tank destroyers playing in a more aggressive role rather than sitting right at the back of the map like, say, the Jagdpz and the Object 704 are doing at the moment. Demiga knows he's got the hit points and he's got the armor to be able to survive up here, and he can really punish people close up. As you can see there, 1,137 damage straight through the E-50M. He's only taken, well, he's only landed 2 shots in this game, and he's already done 2,000 damage. So already off to a good start, and as you can see, the enemy knows that the tide has turned against them. And the allied team is pushing quite heavily. Gets a great shot on the Centurion 7-1 there to end his game. And that's his first kill now of this match. And like I was saying, you can see that the enemy team has realised that the allied team here is like the tide. They will not be stopped, so they've decided to fall back. Doesn't want to fire a shot at the IS-7's turret there, just because that is so strong. Is able to sneak a shot just to the right of his of the gun there, so a great little shot there to penetrate the armor of the turret of that IS-7, shooting just at the weak spot. So an excellent knowledge of weak spots there by Demiga. Looks like the enemy team has started a base capture off now, but Demiga has a tortoise in his sights, and then the tortoise evaporates under the weight of the damage from this huge cannon. And Demiga's going to try and get into position to maybe get a shot on this Jagdpz as soon as he's reloaded. Unfortunately, the Jagdpz is, number 1, backing off, and 2, got his lower plate pretty nicely hidden. So even if Demiga lands this shot, this would be a difficult one to penetrate. There we go, gets his track instead, not quite able to get any damage on the Jagdpz. It only been a T9, it is still quite a tough beast there. Finds the Tiger 2. This is the guy who's been doing the base cap all this time. And he's forced the allied team to come and try and do something about it. Can only see the very top of his turret, but thinking about having this shot here. Although the Tiger 2 is moving backwards and forwards. Not surprisingly, that one just misses. We could only see about 6 inches of the top of the Tiger 2's turret there. Although that was the side of the turret, so that would have sailed straight through. Looks like people are flanking around. Still got a minute. There we go. Somebody gets a reset on the Tiger 2. Don't know if that was the IS-7 or the Jagdpz. Probably the Jagdpz, or is the IS-7 still moving? Demiga's just going to look to try and finish off the Tiger 2. Does indeed finish him off, and that's kill number 4. Enemy team doing a fantastic job of staying in this game, though. They've got the score pretty even at 9 kills to 10. And holding on to their position as best they can. This Tiger's backing off in an effort to try and relocate and get into a better position. Still got a Waffenträger somewhere around spawn and an AMX 5120. That AMX could wreck somebody's day if he's able to get a few low health enemy tanks, or allied tanks in this case really. Looks like a large contingent of the enemy team has gone around that far southern flank. See that E-100, T-62A and E-75 down there now. AMX 5100 has been spotted. He's got to take a shot quick because of the shape of the terrain, but it looks like the AMX 5120 is going to get away with his life, at least for now. He's squaring off against that IS-7. Looks like he is protected by the terrain, although it looks like he is moving back up now, but the IS-7 takes him out. I think the AMX 5120 fired off all of his shots. Not really sure how much health the IS-7 has, as he's just out of render range. Now Deminger going to be pressing on forward. He knows that there is a Waffenträger and a Tiger, Jagdpz somewhere around here. Finds the Jagdpz. Oh, and that is like Christmas and birthday all coming at once. Finds the rear armor of a Jagdpz with 918 hit points. And he just says, yes, please, I will have all of those hit points and all of those tiers. And that's kill number 5. So the tanks that are left on the enemy team are still pretty, going to be pretty useful. E-100, a T-62A, an E-75 and a Waffenträger Panzer IV. Although the Allies do have more tier 10s. And Deminger himself is still on full health. Nobody's even fired at him yet in this game, so he can afford to lose some hit points. He can afford to get hit once or twice trying to find this Waffenträger, because he does have the hit points, as you can see. Still got 2,200 hit points in the bank. That IS-7 just holding his position there, going to try and spot anybody who makes a move. To be honest, that T-62A should really be flanking around. He should be in A or B1 by now. Does find the Waffenträger. He did take some damage on his track. Takes him out. Looks like somebody like the T-30 got the majority, a lion's share of those hit points. But Deminger gets his Top Gun medal anyway. An excellent, excellent piece of play so far. That E-75 falls to the STB-1. And it's just that E-100 and T-62A left now. Last spotted on the northern section of the map. And everybody going to be trying to press down on them. Like I said, that T-62A should be flanking all the way around behind that IS-7 by now. We should be sort of at C, B, 1 and 2. And trying to get around behind that IS-7, but I'm not sure where he is. E-100 was last spotted and he hadn't moved at all. There we go. T-62A has indeed done exactly what he should have done. Unfortunately, he didn't bank on a full health Jagdpanzer E-100. Well, actually, he's not full health anymore, but just didn't bank on a Jagdpanzer E-100 at all. And takes him out and picks up kill number 7. T-62A complaining in chat about the Jagdpanzer being in the field, but I don't think he realises that Deminger's been on quite a bit of a drive in this game so far. He is loaded here, but the E-100 is hiding behind the rocks here, so we're going to try and press him down with the help of the IS-7. T-30 camping way in the back there, not sure why, as this E-100 isn't really going to poke himself out too much from behind the rocks, although I tell a lie. The T-30 gets a shot on him, but Deminger gets the kill. Another 740 damage. Picks up a Radley Walters medal and over 7,000 points of damage. So absolutely awesome game there from Deminger, showing that you don't have to camp at the back and sit in a bush to be effective in a top tier tank destroyer. So awesome replay from you. Thank you very much for sending that one in. Don't forget, guys, if you've got yourself a great replay, then send that into replay@screenreality.com. Link for that is in the description. Just send me a link to the What Replay website or attach the replay file to the email and I can check that one out for you. So thanks very much for watching, everybody. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, found it useful, informative, you learned something, or you just enjoyed it, think about hitting that subscribe button, because there's a lot more World of Tanks content on this channel. I have been Maxwell, this has been World of Tanks, and I will catch you guys next time.